It's time for Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors.
Good morning. This is Karey Brown, broker owner of Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. Today I am here with the infamous Tamara Day. She is the host of Bargain Mansions, which is aired in Kansas City. Good morning, Tamara.
Good morning. How are you?
I am great.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
I caught your show because I don't necessarily sleep as often as I should. And was really excited, so I started recording it because you are a Kansas girl. So I think that's awesome that, you think all Hollywood and California and everything, but we have a homegrown Kansas girl actually on TV.
We do. I grew up in Salina, Kansas, and have lived here in Kansas City for about 15 years now, and just love it here. It's such a great city, and I love that the show gets to showcase so much of Kansas City.
Absolutely. So let's start with what you're doing. So you're taking old, basically very large homes and renovating them?
Exactly. So I buy the worst house on the block that's in the worst shape, but it's a big old house, and we bring it back to the former glory that it once was, but having all the beautiful modern amenities, and not just for a flipper's eye where we slap some gray paint and white trim up and call it good. I do interior design as well, and so these homes are done with beautiful textures and wallpapers and finishes that are a high design look, but at a flip. So it's a whole different kind of flip show instead of just a let's get it done on the cheapest budget that I can. I want it to look really beautiful and be a designed home, not just a let's clean it up and sell it.
Absolutely. And so it's been airing on DIY, which I'm sure you could go out to DIY Network and find the older ones that have already played, but it airs right on Wednesday?
It airs on Wednesday nights.
So how often, are you constantly on the lookout for a new house, or how do you go out and find the house that you're looking for?
Yes and no. So right now we're taking a little bit of a break and enjoying the holidays with my kids. I have 4 kids, and so we took a month or 2 off, but then we will jump back into looking for houses coming up pretty soon here. And we just find the right one. They kind of speak to me. When I see it, it's the right thing in the right neighborhood at the right price, and we jump on it.
So are you looking for homes that have just been left vacant? Foreclosures?
Those are ideal.
Okay.
Yes. I love vacant foreclosures because they're in the worst shape, and it's easy to come in and just start from scratch, and it's really my full vision for a home instead of having a house that I'm working around things. With the vacant houses or foreclosures that have really been abused, the transformation is much more fun too.
Absolutely. So do you ever do remodeling, like for someone that's going to buy a house and they say, well, I need for you to come in and make it look like what you do on other homes?
Absolutely. We work with clients all the time, not on the show, but in real life, we do have a lot of clients that we work with from anywhere from, hey, I want to renovate a room, or I just need furniture for my house, on up to we're buying a house, we want you to renovate it before we move in and fully furnish it. And so we can do everything from start to finish. And
I know by doing what you're doing it from an investor's outlook, so you know what your budget's got to be and where you've got to stay and parameter-wise. What would be tips that you would give somebody that would be doing what you're doing, just not on TV?
Well, I got my start with our own house in 2008, and we all know that 2008 was not the best year for anybody. So at that time, we'd already bought our house, and when the market crashed and everything got tight, we were in the middle of renovating our house, and I just became the general contractor overnight. We had 3 boys, 4 and under, and I started subbing out every project, and I also strapped the baby into a Bjorn and went to work in the house myself and did as much of it myself as I possibly could. And that's really where I learned to apprentice all of my people that were working on the house. my dad growing up taught me a lot, so I was already really handy, but this was, as an adult, getting to come in and work on what I wanted done. Kind of that first opportunity that I had to really get my hands dirty. My husband and I have done a lot of rental properties and flips over the years, and but we've always had other people doing the work. In our house, it was crunch time. So if it needed painted, I painted it myself. If it needed sanded, I was the one sanding it. And if my flooring guy needed a right-hand man, I was the right-hand man, and my baby was on my back. And I'm helping carry in the flooring. Whatever it was, I was their right-hand person, and start to finish, just helping every step of the way. So I learned a ton that year in how to make it happen, and the house turned out beautiful. And at the end of that, I ended up needing furniture, and I started buying old furniture and fixing it up and filling the house up with beautiful pieces that way, and it turned into a whole business.
You live in Kansas City, and the plan is to stay with this show in Kansas City?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
So you don't go into the outer limits, or like Olathe or any of that?
Oh, anything in the metro area is up for grabs. So we look everywhere. I love Hyde Park in particular. The homes are just so historically beautiful, and I love working on the really old ones. But I don't ever shy away from the new ones either, or newer. Being one of the houses we did this season was a 70s, 80s ranch house. And it was just left vacant and in really poor disrepair, but it was a great renovation.
Absolutely. So, again, back to if you were an investor and you're going to go out and take a look and say, okay, well, I think I want to start flipping houses. First off, you really need to know what you're doing, but what would be your best tip for them?
Doing as much of it yourself as you can. The labor is difficult to get cheap and good. And so if you can do it yourself, you save a ton of money. And if you're able to do a lot of the shopping yourself, you can find a lot of great deals online and just price shopping.
Does it help by having like a contractor's discount in different places? Do you apply for those? Okay.
Absolutely, every time. Sometimes it makes a huge difference, especially at the big box stores. But then online, a lot of times you can find things like lights and faucet fixtures online can be a lot cheaper than anything you can find locally. So it's just all about shopping around and making sure you check your prices. So
what is your favorite room in a home to renovate?
The kitchen.
That was
it's always
easy.
The kitchen. It's always the most fun. It has the most pieces that are moving, and the textures and so much that can change so dramatically. The master bath would be a close second, though.
Absolutely. I was watching one that they had, and it was disgusting. And basically, you walked in and you said, "Okay, I can't even be in this room." But it was like the bathtub was in with the shower.
Oh yes, that was so gross.
You're like, I'm not even going in.
yes and no, that was super gross. It was super gross because it was like an 80s bathroom to begin with, and it smelled like, that's one thing you don't get a sense of on television is what things smell like, and that smell was really special.
Yeah. I've been selling real estate now since 2002, and there was a period of time that I did foreclosures, and I tell you what, you never know that smell. And, I mean, you have to carry some sort of perfume in your car and just smell it, like it's disgusting, some of the places you walk into.
I'll never forget one house I walked into. It was, I just walked in the front door and walked out. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care how good of a deal this is. I don't want it.
No kidding. And then you find, the stuff that they think that's okay to leave behind.
Always.
Yeah. And their houses Go ahead.
Our house was a foreclosure 3 times over. And the things they left behind were absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Ours was too. So our first house we bought whenever way before I got into real estate. And And so we were so dumb. We did not know that we should get a home inspection. We were told, well, it doesn't matter. If it's a foreclosure, you're not going to get to ask them for anything anyway. And which is kind of crazy because you should still do one unless you're a contractor, because you should know what you're getting into. You know, you still have the opportunity to walk away.
Right.
But it was pretty interesting. We found a faucet, a spigot on the outside of the house, and we thought, I wonder why that doesn't have, like the little spinny wheel, technical term there, to turn it on. And it's so convenient. It would reach right out to the garden. We wouldn't have to route it all the way around the house. And whenever we put the water hose on it, in the little spinny technical term there, turned it on, it shot water out of our kitchen ceiling. So,
oh my gosh.
Always fun things you find. And now we know somebody left a hose on it and it froze and it busted and it doesn't work, so it should never be used.
Never use that one.
Yeah. Always great things. And sometimes with foreclosures and they've set for a long period of time, ours backs up to woods, we had a very healthy mouse population in our house.
Oh, yuck.
Which meant we also had a healthy population of snakes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I haven't dealt with that. I've dealt with mice, but I've never had snakes.
Ringnecks were coming in for lunch.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah. So I grew up in the South, and where I grew up, you just don't play with snakes because usually they're cottonmouths and stuff like that and rattlesnakes. And so my husband was at work, and I was there with the kids, and I was sweeping the floor, and there was this looked like a little toy snake, and I thought, well, Cody left his toy downstairs, so I swept over everything and went to reach down to get it, and it raised up and looked at me. So
oh my gosh.
You should have seen me trying to get that thing into the house. But needless to say, I threw it in the tub that I had it in, as far away from the house as I could, called my husband and said, you have to get somebody out here to check this house. I can't sleep here anymore. So we got rid of them all. We don't have any playing in our house anymore, but let's just say you should always make sure that they're not hanging out looking for the mice.
Oh, gosh. I've never had to deal with that. We've had mice, but we've never had like a horrible mice infestation. So, luckily, because I'm not a fan. I can deal with mice. I cannot deal with snakes.
Me either.
Yuck.
Ours had been Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we've dealt with a lot of weird things that we find in the walls. And we find, like, possums that have dehydrated in the walls or, squirrels and obviously tons of mice. But the larger animals my kids are really fascinated with because they kind of mummify when they die in the walls like that. And, oh my goodness, I post them on my Instagram quite a bit. It's always startling.
Well, we found where apparently the mister had been getting the foreclosure notices and had been hiding them in the ceiling in a trash bag and had a gambling problem, and his wife didn't know.
Oh, that's so sad.
So there's always interesting things to find. Foreclosures are a hoot. You just never know.
Yes, ours was quite the story because our guy there were burn marks in the carpet where drugs had been happening, and there were needles around, and it was pretty. And then also there were dirty diapers so somebody had a kid in the house, and like there were dirty diapers all over the place. It was unbelievable.
Oh.
There was everything in this house.
Ours wasn't that bad, thank goodness. I mean, snakes and mice is one thing, but dirty needles is another.
Yes. Well, we had people come clean that up.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so tell me, after the break, we're going to talk about how Tamara got into doing the show that she's doing and get some more information about all the great things she's doing. So please join us again after a word from our sponsors.
This is Stephen Parkin at Invista Credit Union. Purchasing a home is one of the most exciting and important decisions someone can make. Let me tell you why Invista is the best choice for financing your new home purchase. First, quick pre-approval process. Our fast decision-making gives you the power to act quickly and make an offer on your dream home. Second, local servicing. We service your mortgage in-house. You won't get a long-distance runaround, but a committed professional whose only job is to help you. Third, experienced team. We are dedicated to simplifying the process and educating you through the home buying process. Come by Invista. It's okay to dream. In fact, it's encouraged. We are your home buying partner. Give us a call at 785-228-0149.
Southwest Topeka has a good neighbor. State Farm agent Jim Garrison, now at 29th and Urish. If your current insurance situation has you going around in circles, get off the roundabout and stop in and meet Jim and his wonderfully efficient staff. Let Jim Garrison give you a quote and make the Garrison comparison. He's confident that with State Farm's competitive rates, the right coverage, and his unmatched service, you'll want to make him your new insurance agent. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and Jim Garrison is there for you, northeast of the roundabout at 29th and Urish.
Thanks for joining us again. This is Karey Brown, broker under Realty Executives Preferred Advisors, and you're listening to Real Estate 101. I'm back with Tamara Day, and Tamara is the star of Bargain Mansions that's aired in Kansas City, takes place in Kansas City. So thanks for joining us again, Tamara.
No problem. Happy to be here.
So you talked briefly in the first segment about how you got started with the show, but just in case someone missed it, would you mind going into it briefly?
Absolutely. I got started doing home renovations as a kid. My dad did a lot of building, and he loved to give us consequences with doing sheetrock whenever we sassed or got into trouble of any kind. So there was always some kind of manual labor to be done around the farm. So I grew up kind of learning how to do this kind of stuff. And then as an adult, my husband and we got married, and our first home was one that we renovated ourselves. But then over the years, we bought lots of rental properties and had a lot of people that worked for us doing the work. And then in 2008, we, like everybody else, went through the recession, and we were in the middle of renovating a foreclosure. And I like to call it my first bargain mansion because we got a great price on it, but in the middle of the progress was when Lehman fell and AIG, and it felt like the world was going to end. And so I immediately started doing all the general contracting myself. And we had 3 little boys, 4 years and under. And the baby was less than a year old at the time. And so I was throwing him in a Bjorn and sanding whatever needed sanded and hauling in whatever needed hauling in, and just doing a lot of the work myself. And from there, my design business grew, and started doing furniture renovations after we moved in. And it was just my business started growing through word of mouth, and we ended up we were heard about through a random series of events. Matt Antrim, my executive producer, heard about me and wanted to meet. And when we met, he said, I really think I'd like to do a show with you. This is a fun concept of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and we'd love to follow you around a little bit. And that was 3 years ago. Over the course of the 3 years, we did lots of little sizzle reel, and then a full day of filming, and a little bit more and a little bit more. And a year ago, we got the official pickup that they wanted to buy 12 full episodes of Bargain Mansions, and so we started filming in January.
And so let's talk about where you like to buy inside of Kansas City.
Well, I love to buy in the Hyde Park area. That's my first love, because those houses are just so beautiful, and there's so much character and charm already in the houses. And I love bringing that historic element back in the homes and mixing in the modern and the old. But at the same time, I'm never opposed to looking at something newer, because if it's been vacant and just left in shambles, it's still a really fun renovation. So bringing whatever is left vacant or foreclosed and in really bad shape, I'll take a look at it no matter where it is.
And so it started out, you also have an interior design business. So let's talk about that. You're still actively doing that, correct?
We are. I have a team of girls that work for me, and we design everything together. With the filming schedule and working on the show, I don't have as much time to be part of that like I used to, but I still love it, and I love our clients. Everybody's so wonderful and fun to work with. So we do a lot of that. We have a lot of great projects, everything from start to finish, complete renovations, and anything in between where, hey, we want a half bathroom renovation, or we want a master bathroom renovation, and on up to the whole house. Or it's something as simple as, hey, we want to do our nursery. Can you help us design it? So we're a full-scale design firm.
And what is the name of it?
Growing Days. So my last name is Day, and I have 4 little people that I am growing. So my business name is Growing Days.
And your website for them to check you out?
growingdays.com, and Instagram is growing_days, and also on Facebook at Growing Days.
And if they wanted to have your company come out and take a look at it, is there a number that they should call?
The best way to get in touch with us is to email hello@growingdays.com, or to call our office line at 816-896-0303.
So while you're doing the show, how many houses are you guys trying to get done, and what does your time frame look like?
We did 6 houses in 10 months, so it's a very aggressive schedule. We started the first 2 houses January and early February, and within a month and a half, we had already started the second 2, and we're running the 4 houses at a time. And by the time we finished the first 2, we were starting the last 2. So it was very aggressive and quick, but at the same time, I have a great team of people that I work with, and they all really help make it happen. So it's awesome.
And if someone were to see something that they just had to have in one of the shows, how would they find it?
Well, if it's something that was staged with, you can find it at Restoration Emporium on the plaza. They helped me with all the staging and made it look beautiful. And if it's something that's a fixture in the house, all of the lighting came from Wilson Lighting. And anything like wallpapers or paint colors and things like that, you can email us at hello@growingdays, and it's all orderable through my business.
So what was your favorite house to renovate?
My favorite house of the season was the Locust house. It's 3633 Locust, and it is the last house that's actually on the market. It's still available to be purchased, and it is my favorite house of all time, honestly. I think it's my favorite one I've ever gotten to do, and if it was even 15 minutes closer to my kids' school, we would move in. Unfortunately, it's not close, and moving the kids doesn't work. But I love the curb appeal of the house is so charming. The roof is a Da Vinci roof with slate, like it's a faux slate roof that is absolutely beautiful and really feels historically accurate for the home. But then the finishes in the house are really top-notch. We have all beautiful Kohler fixtures throughout all the bathrooms and kitchen. The shower is absolutely amazing. It's a huge walk-in shower with 2 shower heads, 2 handheld showers, a rain head system, and then at the back of the shower is a big soaking tub that has also a handheld and tub filler. It's really stunning, all surrounded by Carrara marble. It's really a knockout shower. But then the other beautiful thing about this master is it has a fabulous stone fireplace that's original to the house. And we took what was the original master and turned it into a beautiful little, was the master bathroom, and turned it into a little morning nook where you've got a mini fridge and a prep counter for coffee and all that kind of good stuff. And on the other side, we have a sunlight and sauna. And then after your sauna in the morning and your coffee, you can go sit and enjoy it on your own private little porch off of the master bedroom. It is an absolute haven and a retreat to be in that master suite.
I actually saw that show, and the kitchen is to die for.
It is. It's one of my favorite kitchens. I love the gray cabinetry and the windows. All the light that pours into that kitchen is really amazing.
I'm surprised it's still on the market, actually.
I know. It was under contract, and the buyer backed out just because of personal reasons, nothing to do with the house, and went back on the market right before Christmas. So bad time of year to put a house on the market.
Right, and those are the true horror stories of real estate.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah. My team always makes fun of me because I'm almost superstitious. I really do not like to put under contract on a sign. To me, it's like inviting trouble. Because if something's going to happen, it's going to happen after you put that stupid sign on. And now all of a sudden we have to tell everybody it's not under contract anymore.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Yes, and it was under contract for a month and a half.
Even better.
It was a week before closing, so very frustrating situation. And it was all on their end, not ours.
And that happens really often. And unfortunately, the house gets this label about it, like something the house did was wrong, and it's really oftentimes not. Has nothing to do with it. Like financing.
Nothing to do at all.
Yeah. Financing or buyer's remorse, anything like that.
Exactly.
So if you were to pick, I know you love kitchens, but if there were certain things in houses that you've done that you would love to actually do in your house, what would they be?
Well, the Charlotte House kitchen was maybe my favorite kitchen. I loved the black lower cabinets and the island being so big and open, and then having the mitered edge quartz countertop was really a nice feature. And the open shelves with the tile all the way to the ceiling. It was such a bright and airy kitchen. I just really loved that one. But if I could have the master bath on Locust with that kitchen and closer to my kids' school, we'd be 100%.
Awesome. So if they were wanting to check out your interior design business, which after you've watched your show, I promise you're going to want to, again, how would they get a hold of you?
hello@growingdays.com is the best way to get in touch with us. And you can call our office line at 816-896-0303, and we can help set something up for you.
Awesome. And if you're looking to buy or sell, be sure and give us a call at 785-213-5188. You can email us at preferredadvisorsteam@gmail.com. Be sure and check out our website. It has all 4 MLSs on it. That's Kansas City, Lawrence, Topeka, Manhattan. So covers into Missouri to the Nebraska border, as far south as Emporia, as far west as Junction City. So you have a wide range. Be sure and check it out. NEKansasHomes.com. And thanks for joining us on Real Estate 101.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate 101 with the Karey Brown team from Realty Executives Preferred Advisors. Tune in again next Sunday at 11 o'clock for Real Estate 101.